One day I get a call from the social worker here in town, and she tells me that there is an emergency situation. So I go in to speak with her, and she begins to tell me the story of a shelter here in Weiwei for women and young girls that have been taken out of abusive situations, or some of them are orphans, and a lot of them are pregnant at ages 13, 14, 15. And the reality is there's just really nowhere else for these girls to go. The home was in the process of shutting down at the time due to lack of funding, and they were being evicted from their apartment. There was no food to eat, and basically her question to us was, can you guys help? And so I went to go visit the home, and I remember so clearly walking down into the basement where they were living at the time. And it was dark, it was dirty, it smelled bad, and there was just 15 girls crammed in there. They were sleeping 5, 6 girls to a bed, and it was sad. It was really, really sad. And I just remember thinking, like, we have to do something. We immediately felt connected to these girls and to this project, and so we kind of just said, sure, let's see what we can do. So the first step was to look for temporary housing for these girls. So we were looking at houses and apartments to rent. During that process, we get a call from somebody who works down at the court, and she says, hey, we have a surprise for you. And we're like, okay. So she takes us down to the gates of this beautiful facility, and she just hands us the keys and says, it's yours. That was in August of 2014, and at the beginning of 2015, we already had 42 girls living at the home. So for the past 5 months, we've been able to provide for the basic needs of these girls, but our vision for this project is so much greater than that. We want this not to be just a shelter, but we want this to be a loving home for these girls where they're able to thrive and be prepared for life on their own. We want to do this by equipping these girls through rehabilitation, education, practical life skills, and spiritual mentorship. To do this, we've hired full-time psychologists at the home. We've enrolled all of our girls in school. We're in the process of starting an internally operated restaurant on-site at the home, and we are committed to walking alongside these girls as they discover and grow in their faith in Jesus. Rather than sending these girls back into their communities with fear and lack of confidence in their abilities and worth, we want to send these girls into the world as strong, fearless leaders who have realized their passions and will use them to strengthen their communities. So we're asking you to believe in this mission with us. We want to give you a couple of really practical ways that you can get involved. The first way is to sponsor a child. For $30 a month, you can provide for all of the basic needs of one of our girls. And for $50 a month, you can provide for the needs of a mother and her child. The second way is to make a general donation. We are hoping to raise $10,000 to kickstart our work at the home. These startup funds will help us hire a full staff, continue enrolling all of our girls in school, and cover basic expenses. The third way is to come and see for yourself. We absolutely love sharing this place with people, and so we invite you to either bring down a mission team or come as an individual volunteer and see this work firsthand. And the fourth way is to partner with us in prayer. We acknowledge that none of this can happen without Jesus, and we believe in the power of prayer. So we ask you to pray with us for the continued work of God in the lives of these girls and in this community. These girls have had so much stolen from them. They've been told that they are not worthy, that they're not capable, and they've experienced evil in ways that many of us probably can't imagine. Or maybe we can, but that's not the point. The point is that they need redemption, just like we all do. And in that sense, we can relate to them. God has put these girls in our path for a reason, and He wants to see radical transformation in their lives. And the crazy part about all of this is that we're invited. Wherever we are in our walk with God, wherever we are in the world, God says, come and be a part of the redemption story of humanity. And it's not because we're qualified, it's not because we're capable, but it's because God loved us first. And He's now calling us to love the world in that same way. And when we do that, when we love others the way that He first loved us, that's when we really see the kingdom of God here on earth.